place of origin. So it is like the environmental characteristics, the environmental conditions of that place of origins attribute to the they are because of those environmental conditions, the quality of that product is as such. So for example, Nagpur oranges, Kurg coffee. So the flavor and the aroma, the taste of that coffee is because of the environmental conditions which are affecting those coffee plantations in Kurg region. So that enhances the flavor. So Kurg coffee, Mysore sandal soap, Darjeeling tea, even Devgarh Hapus. So these are the geographical indications. So GI, geographical indication, is registered, like if we register GI, it protects the producer, like there's no consumer deception. So for example, if Devgarh Hapus has been registered as a GI, Devgarh Hapus has been registered as a geographical indication. So if some other producer, he comes up with Alfonso mangoes which are not from Devgarh regions, and he claims, like he sells those mangoes saying that they are from Devgarh region. So so this, if a GI has been registered, so that community, they can, they can stop those people from deceiving the consumers. So that is the protection of geographical indication. Then industrial design is another form of IP. So as the name says, it is for a design, the outer look of an article. So industrial design is applied to a wide range of articles, from jewelries, it can be a three-dimensional products, or like a soap or a table, chair. So design the aesthetic look, how the aesthetic look of an article or a product, how it looks. So because the aesthetic look is something which has a commercial value, it has a market value, so that's why it has been protected. So by way of protection, you can prevent other persons from coming up with a similar design in market. So industrial design can be applied to, it can be in the form of a three-dimensional, it can be applied to a product for as in a soap, a three-dimensional, or it can be in the form of a two-dimensional, like a feature, the bed sheet, not bed sheet, but some patterns or lines, stripes. So that is a two-dimensional. So for an industrial design to get registered, there's a requirement of novelty. Like the design should be novel. It should not be available in any other, like for the same product, it should not be available in public domain. The design should not be there in public domain for the same range of products. Then, so you take an example of a soap. Hello?
No, please continue, ma'am. There will be a bit of disturbance.
Okay.
People are just joining in.
Okay.
Please continue, ma'am.
Yeah. So for the soap, for the Lux soap, the shape of that soap is changed. So it gives a better, the design has been improved aesthetically. So in the second example, you consider a pen, the shape has been changed. So this shape gives a more better grip. So this is a, this is a design where you improved it ergonomically, improve the product ergonomically. And third example, there's a pen drive. So this has been improved from usability point of view. So this is industrial design. So another form of IP is trade secret. So it is as the name says, it is a secret. So there's no legal protection as such for a trade secret, but as longer you keep it as a secret, it will stay a trade secret. So the like you disclose it in by way of confidentiality agreement. So when it comes out, it no longer stays a secret. So there's no legal protection or laws for protecting it. So trade secret is basically, it can be any business plans or client details or any kind of information, financial information, which is of value for an enterprise, and it gives a competitive edge to the enterprise over the others. So that is a trade secret. Yeah. So the example of trade secret is Maggi, the secret formula for Maggi, and the best well-known example is a Coca-Cola formula. So it's said like this formula is known by only two people, and they don't, they don't travel in the same flight. So one dies, the formula stays with the other person. So that is a trade secret. As long as you keep it, it remains a secret. So trade secret is usually a route taken when something which is not patentable it belongs to a non-patentable category, you keep that information as a secret, and you get a competitive edge over others. Or and there are some prohibitive costs for patenting, so that's why you keep it as a trade secret. So another form of IP is layout design of integrated circuits. So this is for the integrated circuits. So this is another form which protects only the ICs, integrated circuits, under a different law, that is semiconductor devices. So another form is plant varieties. So plant varieties, this is a separate law. It is protected. It's not, plants are not protected under patent laws. So there's a separate law called the Plant Variety and Farmers' Rights Act. So a new variety which has been created, so that can be protected, and plant varieties protected. So for protection, the minimum requirement is the variety must be distinctive. It must have at least one essential characteristic which is different than the existing varieties. It must be, that characteristic must be uniform, and it must be stable. Like through years of propagation, that characteristic must stay stable in every cycle of propagation. So how can one product be protected by different forms of IP? So this is one example where you take a mobile device. So the logo or the name, that is protected under trademark laws. The software or the source codes and the inbuilt software is protected by copyright laws. Improvements or technical improvements or modifications, the mobile devices, they are protected by patent laws. The shape, the look, the outer look of this mobile device is protected under industrial design laws. So this is another example of pressure cooker. So for patent improved mechanism, the technical improvement is protected by patent. The outer shape of this cooker is protected by design laws. The brand names like Prestige, etc., they are protected by trademark. And copyright, the instruction manual. So the way the instructions are written in a manual, that is protected under copyright laws. So what is the term for these different kinds of IP, which gives rights? So the term differs from the kind of IP it is. So for copyright, the term of copyright is for the literary works, for the novels. It is for the lifetime of the author plus 60 years ahead after post death. For the patents, so patent is for the inventions, the technical inventions. So for patents, the term is 20 years from the first filing date, and this after 20 years, it comes into public domain. It cannot be renewed, and everyone, it is freely available for everyone without authorization of the inventor. So for trademark, it is, the term of trademark is 10 years, and that can be renewed every 10 years. You can renew it. For industrial design, it is again 10 years, and that can be renewed further for 5 years. So after 15 years, it cannot be renewed. And for geographical indication, the term is 10 years and can be renewed from time to time for every 10 years. So geographical indication is basically not filed by an individual person, that is by a group of producers, that is by a society. So the Devgarh Association, it's the GI for Devgarh Alfonso in the name of Devgarh Association. So we come to patents. So this is another form of IP. So patent is for the inventions which are generated by the inventor. So the government gives this legal rights to the inventor for his invention. So these rights are the exclusive rights because you exclude others during the patent term. You exclude others from using your invention without your authorization, and these are so they are negative rights because you exclude others, and they are for a limited period of time. So as I said, the term is 20 years from the date of filing. After 20 years, it is in public domain. And patent are the territorial rights. So if you want to enforce your rights in each and every country, you need to file separate applications and get it granted in those countries. So if you file an application in India, you get it granted in India, you have patent rights over that invention only to Indian territory. So for enforcing your rights in US, you need to file a separate application in US and get it granted over there according to their laws. So That is a patent. So if you have granted patent in India, any person is free to manufacture and sell it or use it in US, and you cannot stop that person because you don't have a granted patent in US. So that is basically inventor discloses all this technology in a patent. The full disclosure is requirement. Full disclosure, you do it in a patent, and the government in turn gives you a complete monopoly over your invention, complete exclusivity of using your invention the way you want for 20 years. So inventor can license, assign the patent and earn royalties out of it because he has monopoly over it. So this is basically like patent is basically for the invention. This is because the inventor spent a lot of amount of efforts and times in developing that invention. It should not happen like some other person is coming in using the invention and the inventor is not getting any benefits out of it. So to prevent third party exploitation, this patent legal protection is given to the inventor. So to get a patent, the patentability criteria, like we need to satisfy a NUNS test. So that is basically a novelty, utility, industrial application, non-obviousness, and statutory requirements. And of course, sufficiency of disclosure, because if we are disclosing, government is giving this monopoly, so they are expecting the complete disclosure of patents, invention. So patentability criteria, the first one, NUNS test, was novelty. So as I say, the invention must be novel, it must be new, it must not be published or disclosed in any form. So any kind of publication, even a magazine publication, will be cited against your invention. Any kind of publication before you file a patent application will be cited as a prior art, and that will restrict you from getting. So even your own scientific research paper, if you publish it and then you file a patent application, even your own paper will come in way of your patent application and kill the novelty. So there's this famous case which has been cited as a prior art, just to understand the novelty concept. So like there was this inventor named Karl Kreuer. So he had applied for a patent in Germany and UK. So his patent was relating to a method for raising a sunken ship by introducing a buoyant bodies through a tube from a ship above. So basically, he filed a patent for a method of raising a sunken ship. He got it granted in UK and Germany. He also filed the same application in Dutch Patent Office. But it happened that the Dutch Patent Office rejected that application, saying that that is not novel. So what it happened that the Dutch examiner seemed to be a fan of Donald Duck, and he cited some Donald Duck magazine, the old issue magazine. So in which there was a story, The Sunken Yacht. So as you can see from the image, it showed a Donald Duck was raising this sunken ship. He was, feeding the ping pong balls from above, feeding it through a tube to the sunken ship and raising it. So these ping pong balls are nothing but the buoyant bodies which were used, so it was the same technique which was claimed in the invention by the Karl Kreuer. So this was cited as a prior art, saying it. This Donald Duck magazine was dated back to 1949, so it was cited as a prior art since it has the same same method was used, and so this magazine was a novelty killing document for this patent, and the patent was rejected by Dutch Patent Office. So this is just an example. Any kind of prior art, it can be any magazine, any piece of paper written on anything, so that can serve as a prior art. Before you file an application, that can serve as a prior art and kill the novelty of the application. So the second criteria, NUNS test, was first is novelty, second was utility, industrial application. So the invention must be capable of being made or used at an industrial level, manufactured at an industrial level. And third criteria is non-obviousness. The invention for which you're filing a patent application must be not obvious to a person who's working in the same area to which the application, the invention relates. So there must be some technical advancement, technical modification of the existing knowledge, which is having some economical significance, and that makes the invention not obvious. So to take a generic example, like consider consider inventor ink pen with blue color. So some other person came up with a ink pen having a red color. So ink pen with a red color satisfies the novelty criteria. It will pass the novelty, but it will not pass the inventive step criteria for patentability. This is because if a person can come up with a red pen, blue pen, anyone can come up with a red pen. So what will be a technical advancement or modification in this case will be if someone comes up with a, like the prior art says there is an ink pen which has some leakage issues, and the inventor comes up with a solution to this leakage. He comes up with a leak proof ink pen. So then that will be a technical advancement, inventive step, and that is not an obvious inventive step. So that is a non-obvious part. So that will satisfy this criteria. The last part of the Nun's test is the statutory requirements. So the Patent Act has section 3 and 4 which says like what is not patentable, what are not inventions. So just to summarize, so what does the section say is like some frivolous invention or which is contrary to well-established natural laws. So an example will be a machine which is giving 100% output without any input. So something which is contrary to public order or morality. So invention of a housebreaking device. So that is contrary to public order morality. So that is not patentable. Discovery of any living or non-living substance. So discovery of a new planet or discovery of microorganisms. So these are discoveries. So there is no human intervention in it. They are existing, but you just discovered it right now. So these are not patentable. Discovery of a new form, a new use. So new form will be chemical derivatives of the known substance, esters, isomers, ethers. So these are the derivative forms. So the derivatives have essentially the same characteristics of that known substance. So just claim towards a new form of that known substance will not satisfy this patentability test. So even a new use, so aspirin is known as a blood thinner. You come up with a new use of aspirin for heart ailments. You file your application claiming a new use of this aspirin. So this is not patentable under this law. Then mere admixture. So you're just mixing two components. You're mixing water and sugar. So this is a mere admixture. So where the components, individual components, they are showing their individual properties. So there's no synergistic effect in it. So that is not patentable. So in this for the composition related patents, to get a patent on them, we need to show some synergistic effect in a way like when we mix component A and component B, we get a component C which has a properties, altogether different properties which are being shown by individual components A and B. So then that is a synergistic effect, then it is patentable. So again, mere arrangement, rearrangement of devices. So for example, an umbrella with a chair or umbrella fixed with a torch. So that is this arrangement where the umbrella and the torch, they are functioning independently. You just arranged it or rearranged it, known devices. So that is not patentable. Method of agriculture, horticulture, so method of propagation of plant, that is not patentable. Any treatment of human beings, so surgical methods, curative methods, diagnostic methods, these are not patentable, but the diagnostic kits are patentable. Similarly, method of treatment of animals. So maybe you're treating sheep to increase yield of wool, or you're treating animals to make them free of diseases. So method of treatment of human beings, animals, that is not patentable. Plants and animals, they are not patentable. So any plant variety or some part of any plant, seeds, etc. So that is not patentable. That can be protected. A variety can be protected under Plant Varieties Act. Microorganisms, the naturally occurring are not patentable, but if you genetically modify it, then it will satisfy this test. Mathematical, business method, computer programs, software algorithms, these are not patentable. For computer program, you show it in a in combination with the hardware and software, where it is solving some technical problem, giving a solution for some technical problem, and it has a technical effect by this combination, then it can be patented. Then literary, dramatic, musical, so these are all protected under copyright laws, not patent laws. Method of performing a mental act of playing game. So method of solving a crossword puzzle, these are not patentable. These are the mental acts. Presentation of information is not patentable. Integrated circuits, topography, traditional knowledge. So something which is, India has a traditional knowledge digital library. So something like, for example, wound healing properties of turmeric. So that is traditionally known in India, and that is, you cannot get a patent or you cannot get a monopoly over it. And inventions relating to atomic energy are not patentable. So we come to patent prosecution in India. So the first step is you file a patent application. So there are two ways you file an application. One is provisional and other is complete specification. So provisional specification is something you have an idea, you have not worked on that invention, you need more time to work on the invention. So you file a provisional specification with that basic idea in broader way, and you get a date. So India has first to file system. So person who files a patent application first will get a patent provided it satisfies the NUNS test. So you file an application. If you file a provisional specification, you get a filing date, first filing date, the first time it was filed at the patent office. So from that first filing date, you need to submit a complete specification within a year's time. So there are, like, the other route is, if you are ready with the invention, you don't need time to work on that invention. You file a complete specification which has a claims, which are the legal boundaries of your patent, and you file a complete specification directly. So the first time you submit an application, you get a first filing date. So from that first filing date, within 18 months, the application gets published in the official gazette on the website. So this publication is done by the patent office without any fee. If you want early publication, you can file a separate request. By submitting a separate request, you can file for early publication. So if you file such a request, the patent office will publish the application within a month's time of filing such request. So this is usually taken to speed track your disposal of applications. So after publication, like from the first filing date, within 48 months, you need to file a request for examination. So once you submit your request for examination, if the application goes for examination, the patent office will examine the application and they will cite certain documents which are relevant to the application, the prior documents before your date of filing of your application, and they issue you an examination report. So there's one more route which has been recently introduced, expedited examination. So this has been expedited examination route is possible for startups. This has been extended to even to small entities and natural persons having a female applicant. So by this route, so usually you get an examination report. It takes about a year's time. It depends on the how much pendency is there on, patent office, burden is there on the patent office. But if we file an expedited examination, we get a report, the first examination report, within say 2 months time we get that report. So it speed tracks the process of grant. So these are the fees. Like in case of normal examination for individual startups, it is 4,000. For expedited, it is 10,000. And for large entities, it is 10,000. For the expedited route, individuals and for startups, MSMEs, it is 8,000. And for other, it is 25,000. Sorry, for individual startups, it is 8,000. And for MSMEs, it is 25,000. So once we get an examination report from the patent office, we need to reply back to that report within 6 months time. So this 6 months we need to submit a reply to the examination report. So this can be extended by 3 months by filing a request for extension, but not later than that. So once we reply to the examination report and the controller is not satisfied, he will call us for hearing. There will be a hearing of the application, and then controller will give the decision. So once there's a grant, the patent is granted, from the date the publication of that grant within a year, and a person interested can file a post grant opposition. And then once a patent is granted, you need to it is for a period of 20 years from the first filing date. So for those you need to, for every year you need to pay a renewal fee, the maintenance fee for patents. So for first 2 years, there's no fee. From the third year onwards, you need to pay the fee. So these are the renewal fees. So for the natural person startup and MSMEs. So for third to sixth year for natural person and startup, it is 800. For MSMEs, it is 2,000 per year. And for 7 to 10, it is 2,400 and 6,000 and so on. So if these fees are not paid, application will be lapsed. So patent filing internationally. So this was, we saw patent filing in India. So for international route, there are 2 ways you can go. One is Paris Convention and other is PCT. So in Paris Convention, you go by Paris Convention, you file a first application in India. Within 12 months, you need to file separate applications all the countries where you want to enforce your rights. If you go by PCT route, you file a first application in India, and within 30 to 31 months time, you need to file separate applications. So instead of 12 months, they give you extended time of 30 to 31 months to file separate applications in individual countries where you want to enforce. So what you have to do in PCT is you file a first application. Within a year, you file only one application, PCT application. So this one PCT application will secure your priority date, first filing date. It will get secured in 152 plus countries which are party to this treaty, Patent Cooperation Treaty. And then PCT route also gives you an international search report and a written opinion of the international authority. So in that way, you can decide whether you want to go ahead and prosecute your applications in multiple countries, or depending on your report, you can take this business decision. So what are the schemes, last part, what are the schemes or incentives for startups and MSMEs in India? So under Startup India scheme, fast tracking of patent applications and disposal is provided. So this I mentioned earlier, expedited examination route has been open for startups. This has been also been extended to MSMEs now and the female applicants. So a panel of facilitators has been set up by the government to assist startups in the IP applications filing and disposal of these applications. Then 80% rebate has been provided on patent filing compared to other companies. So for the legal entities, it is filing fee is 8,000 for e-filing. So startup or individuals for filing fee is 1,600, and even 50% rebate on trademark has been provided compared to other companies. So other initiatives are the 10% refund on online filing to promote online filing rather than physical filing of patent or IP applications. 50% fee reduction for MSMEs is there, like 8,000 patent filing application fees there for large entities, 4,000 is there for small MSMEs for e-filing mode. So state of Karnataka also has some schemes related to this. So it says like reimbursement of 50% of the actual cost with a maximum of 1 lakh for domestic patent filing and 5 lakh for international patent they will provide. So this reimbursement will be in a form of like 75% they will pay after patent is filed, and the remaining 25% will be paid after it is granted. So under the scheme, they say that a single company can have only maximum of 5 reimbursements in combining all the domestic and international. So this Karnataka government scheme is in addition to the other MSME government schemes. So in Tamil Nadu, they have similar scheme, like they provide a rebate of 50% on the patent filing patent registration application cost, and a maximum of 2 lakhs per patent registered, and a rebate of 50% on cost of filing trademark registration application, and maximum of 25,000 for the per registered trademark. Other MSME schemes are the financial assistance is provided by Government of India up to 1 lakh on grant of domestic patent and 5 lakh for foreign patent. Then for geographical indication registration, financial assistance is provided up to 2 lakhs, and for trademark registration, it is provided up to 10,000. So, like, any queries you have?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Before I open the session to the open house, there are a couple of questions already keyed in. The first question is from MG Hulakund. Is the IP applicable to customers' samples received for development, and also some documents or engineering drawings received for references? Pallavi ma'am, can you hear us?
Yeah, no, the voice was breaking.
Yeah, I'll just repeat the question again. Is the IP applicable to customers' samples received for development, and also some documents or engineering drawings received for references?
Documents received for references?
Yes.
Like as such, like.
Is Mr. Hulakand there? Okay, we'll take the next question. It's from Madhav. What's the costs involved in having a logo, and whom to contact? Please share details.
For the trademark application, like government fee, it is 4,500 for individual and startups and MSMEs. And for other entities, private and public, it is 8,000. So for trademark, it is like either you have a service mark like ICICI Bank, or you have a product mark like Nestle. So for this, basically trademark, there's a classification of products and services. So you need to file, your product belongs to which all classes. So you need to submit your application in all those classes for protection in all those classes. So per class, the filing fee is 4,500. So it depends on the number of class you file your application in. So you can contact me, write me an email, I'll connect you with a person who can help you in filing trademark applications.
And there's a question from Ms. Anandita Chakravarti. What is the procedure for applying for a copyright for artwork?
Copyright for artwork. So the procedure is like, you need to submit the drawings or paintings, whatever the art form it is. You need to submit copies of that, and you need to fill in the forms. So the procedure is very simple. Like, we submit all those applications, fill in the form, they will give you a diary number, and they will check those forms, and then you'll get a copyright over it. So it's not as complex. Like,
and
the yeah.
Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. So the government fee is like, I'm not so sure, but the fee is around 2,000 for artistic works. For literary, it is 500 per work.
Okay. And Mr. Prabhas Reddy is asking, regarding IP, what is the average time frame for getting the patent?
So getting a patent granted, like it used to take around 5 years time, but now they have speed tracked it. They have introduced an expedited examination, early publication, and now they are really giving within a month or two's time, they are giving this examination reports and disposing of the application. So it has been greatly reduced currently, and it is around 2 years time, 2 to 3 years time.
Mr. Rao from Hyderabad is asking, if patent is taken only for US territory, then the same can be used in India for manufacturing?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, patent is a territorial right. So you have a patent granted in US. So you have your rights over that patent only in US. Only in US you can prevent some third party from using your patent, manufacturing it, selling it, licensing it, assigning it without your authorization. But a person, if he is using your patent, manufacturing your invention in India, and you don't have a patent granted in India, you cannot stop that person from using. So that is why it is important to file the applications and get it granted in all the jurisdictions where you want to go ahead with commercialization.
Mr. Srinivasan is asking, ma'am, what is tweaking of patent, as in the case of Glivec, anti-cancer drug by Novartis of Switzerland, which was cancelled by Supreme Court?
And okay, so in Glivec case, it was like a new form of a known substance. So it came under that section. Like they had filed an application for a known substance, became derivative form of that known substance without showing any efficacy. So it was considered that efficacy should be a therapeutic efficacy and not just the you have increased the bioavailability of the drug. So that is not a therapeutic efficacy. So that came under the statutory requirement. So it was rejected. So if you have a new form or derivative of a known drug, you should have sufficient data to prove that the efficacy, the therapeutic efficacy is enhanced as compared to the known drug. So Glivec, Novartis failed that. So that was.
Mr. Madhav is asking, ma'am, is it possible to transfer or sell a patent?
Yeah. So that is the main use of getting a patent. Like an inventor will earn royalties. So once a patent is granted, or even if it is filed at the filing stage and prosecution stage, you can license your application to a company or to any third party or you can assign it. So assignment is complete transfer of ownership in terms of royalties, and licensing is like you have ownership rights over your patent, and you control what all jurisdictions that third party will commercialize your invention, and you will earn royalties from that.
Mr. Srinivasan has an add-on question, ma'am. We are all working in exponential changing economy, and by the time the product is patented, the technology is obsolete. Can we not speed up patent processing?
So like I mentioned, like speeding up, we can file an early publication. We submit a complete specification directly instead of provisional and then filing a complete within 1 year. You submit a complete, then you file an early publication, expedited examination request. Once you receive expedited examination, will give you a report within a month's time. So once you receive a report, you send a reply to that report immediately, and it will be disposed within 6 months' time. So that way you can expedite the process. And when also when a patent is filed, you can commercialize and license the invention because you are protected. So basically, if someone infringes your invention, you can, when it is at filing stage, you can just send them a notification like the legal notice that a patent has been filed and I can sue you once it is granted. But infringement suit against a third party who's exploiting can be taken only after patent is granted, but you can claim damages from the date of publication. So that is why people go for early publication, like the damages you get from the date of publication, but after grant of patent.
And Dr. Sundaramurthy is asking, ma'am, I have a patent registered 10 years ago. I have not applied for any assistance. Can I apply for financial assistance now?
Financial assistance, like you need to check, like I've provided those links, so you need to go through the documents in detail, like what are their terms and conditions. So like I might not be able to comment on this.
There is a question from Mr. Holla RP. We published a research paper in Taylor and Francis UK-based journal, but later we observed that there is a novelty factor which is patentable. Is there any way to undo it?
Undo it, like I didn't get the question. So
yeah,
paper
Mr.
is
Holla,
published in US.
Yeah, Mr. Holla, can you clarify the question, please? Okay, we'll take it offline.
Okay.
Ms. Alka is asking, which is better for patent, trademark, product, or company name or logo?
See, so these are different forms of IP. So for if you have a company name or logo, so that is protected under trademark laws. So patent is for an invention, a technical invention. So trademark is the name under which, a logo under which you are doing your business. So that will create, it will, people will know that this product is from this particular service provider, producer. They will associate that product with that. The goodwill, the logo will earn the kind of goodwill. And trademark is basically like, it should not happen like some other person is selling similar product under the name, the trademark name, under the company name in which you are selling the product, and it might happen like the other producer's product are of inferior quality. So your there will be a loss of consumers on your side. So to prevent such things, a trademark application is filed. So no other person can, manufacture or commercialize the product under your name, under the same trademark registered name.
This is the first question which we had asked, ma'am. He is clarified. Mr. Hulukon is clarified. We receive drawings from customers during development for references and customers. And customers say these drawings are confidential. Do these drawings are also to be considered as IPs?
So these drawings, like you can have a copyright over it under artistic work. But for copyright, if you have not done those drawings by yourself, the person who has created those drawings, he has a copyright over it. So even if there's no legal protection, legally he haven't applied for the copyright, he has a copyright. So if you file a copyright for it, and it may happen that he may claim it later on, so that will be an infringement. So you can tweak those drawings and then you can get a copyright on it.
And there is another question from Alka. My product is mosquito nets and is made universally. How can I benefit out of patent or trademark?
Okay, so if it is a mosquito net, for patent, like compared to existing nets, like I'll have to see like what are the features which are different from the existing net. If it is similar to the existing ones, then you cannot get a patent on it. it is already in public domain. People already know these mosquito nets if it is of a similar kind. So for nets, like maybe the name, under the name which you are commercializing these nets, you can trademark that name and create it as a brand. Like it will have a brand value.
Okay. Mr. Vinod Mandeda is asking, ma'am, how to transfer the patent from individuals to company name?
Individuals to company. So yeah, so there's a form 6. You can file a form 6 and then like you can transfer the patent. Like you need to submit a agreement also along with it. So we can do it like that. Is a formal procedural part.
Mr. Rao is asking, how do we come to know that the parent has taken a patent for which territories?
How will we know that what
the parent
patent is there in which territories?
To which all territories?
Okay, so basically, like I said, the patent application, they are published after 18 months. So once the application is published, if it is filed through a PCT route, there is a WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization, has a patent database, patent scope. So if you have a PCT application number, you can feed in that number, and then they will, on that site, they have uploaded the documents of all the countries where the application is filed. So you can get the data from there. Even Google Patent has those things, like shows are also published as feature, which shows like similar applications for same inventions filed in which all countries.
Mr. Naveen is seeking your support. I need to get patent registered for a purifier developed by my 14-year-old son. He has made an air purifier with different uses. I need your support and guidance to file patent for that.
Okay, sure. So if you can write me an email, my email and contact details have been shared. So we can connect it over a call and email. We can take it.
A similar question from Anandita, ma'am. Whom to contact for getting copyright?
So for copyright, even I can file an application. So I filed application for copyright. So you drop me an email. I can see if I can do. I will do it. Otherwise, I'll connect you with the person.
Okay. There is a COVID question, ma'am. Ashok Kumar is asking. We created a low-cost paper board cot to cater to corona patients, which is meant for short time. But the design is innovative, can be copied by anybody. How to patent? Can you help?
So if the innovative feature is the design of that code, you can protect it under industrial design laws. So in this way, similar design, no one can come up with a similar design for that product without your authorization. So you can protect it under industrial designs.
The floor is open now. Anybody can ask the question, please.
Good afternoon, Madam Srinivasan here, Vice President Lagu Udyog Bharati Karnataka. Wonderful presentation, good learning session today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, one of our members from a small village in Puttur, that is in Dakshin Kannada.
Okay.
He has developed an Ayurvedic oil it's called the Good Sleep Oil.
Okay.
It is an Ayurvedic oil which you apply on the hand, and it generates the things which I think he's also on the line. Maybe he's feeling too shy to talk to you about patenting procedure. On his behalf, I would just want to know, is this particular Ayurvedic component, can it be patented?
Yeah. So
it's
we
been
can
developed
file
for the first time.
Yeah. I can understand. So we can file an application for a patent. So this will be like, I need to check in detail, like the Ayurvedic, what all composition, the ingredients, what all it has. And like I mentioned, there is a law in statutory requirement which says like a mere admixture is not patentable. So if it is just a mixture of individual ingredients, where the individual ingredients are showing the individual properties which are already known traditionally, then it will not be patentable. But if it is a kind of mixture where you are mixing it and then you are getting a synergistic effect, like you are getting a different result, which the individual, when they present in individual form, the result is not being shown. So then it is good and we can go ahead for patent. So we can connect offline and then we can get into details. So,
Yeah, I will share your contact details with him, and I'll
yeah, yeah,
request
sure.
him to talk to you. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot for your help.
sure. Thank you so much.
Anybody else, please?
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead, please.
Is it audible?
Yeah, it is audible.
Yeah,
Please
you're
go
audible.
ahead.
Yes, actually, I sent just a message on the Corona cart which we designed. I'm Ashok Kumar calling from a company called Concept Packaging Hub.
Okay.
So we designed, basically this idea has come just now, and it was only last week development. We designed a cart which is going to be low cost. So that is a
Okay.
unique product which is not available anywhere in the world. So that is
Okay.
created low cost to accommodate the large number of patients which we are getting across. So this is basically a one which, for example, if I can able to show to general public, they can easily copy and give it to them. And again,
Okay.
this product is only meant for this particular grade. So where there is a huge demand for the courts and the hospitals, but there is a lack of infrastructure. So this will create immediately a requirement to the government or hospitals or other people. But only thing is, if it is known to other people, it will be easily copied. So to avoid this in a short span of time like this, maybe a month or 2 months, how we can go get this kind of patent and how we can avoid that kind of copying design from other people.
So copying design, we can protect it under industrial design. We can file an application for that design. We need to submit photos of those designs and some forms. So we can immediately file an application where that application you'll get a number, and that will, once registered, you will you will be protected for that design, only the look, like the outer design of that bed. So no one will be able to copy that design without your permission, or if anyone copies it, you can sue it under these laws. And the main part is the design must not be in public domain, like it should not be in any not be written in any brochures or distributed in any brochures, or already in use. So the novelty requirement is there for industrial design. So
Yeah,
before
definitely.
filing the application, you don't disclose it anywhere, you don't commercialize it, manufacture it. So that is a requirement.
But how long this will take, this process? Because we don't have time and we don't have anything accessible to other outside also.
So design application, it doesn't take much time. Like we can immediately file an application, and then once the application is filed, you are protected. So it gets registered in 2 years. Like, not really.
There's a question.
Even earlier.
Anshuman BV ma'am. It's a lengthy question bit. It's about basically copyrights. If we already have a product which is being marketed, I do not know if there is any patent in the territory. I'm marketing, manufacturing this product. Suppose there is a patent and I have not received any notice of any kind regarding the existing patent. Can I be sued on a later date for damages?
Yeah. So we are marketing the product, the technology, and since you are not aware, so if there is a patent, you'll get a legal notice from the concerned applicant, the owner of the patent, saying like, I have a patent over this, and please stop commercializing or marketing these products. So you can say like you are unaware of it, and that can be one of the defense which you can provide. But it's always, before going for marketing, it's always better like you see whether you're not infringing on any patents which are existing. So that is always recommended. You do a patent search and check if you're not, if there is a patent on those technologies, and are you infringing on it.
And Dr. Sundaramurthy is asking, ma'am, what is the risk of copying by someone when we file it?
For the patent, you are saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what is the risk? Like once you file an application, like I mentioned, so if someone else copies the invention and starts manufacturing your invention, you can send, and it came to a notice, you can send them a legal notice saying that I have filed a patent application, and please stop doing these activities. So if I get a patent granted, I can sue you for those exploitation. And you can expedite your process because all the damages you get from the date of publication of your application. So you file a early publication request and get your application published. And then once your patent is granted, you can institute a infringement suit for the damages which have been done due to third-party exploitation. So those damages can be backdated from the date of publication itself.
Okay. There is no name of this person, ma'am. He's asking a question. We are creating our own process sheet with our company logo for our customer drawing. We need to take any permission, or how we can get a copyright for that?
Like, I didn't get the question.
It is a process sheet, ma'am.
Process sheet.
Yeah. We are creating our own process sheet with our company logo for customer drawing. Do we need
So
to
is
take
this
any
a
permission?
manual? Like, is this some kind of manual or brochure? Or
Because there's
something?
no name of the person written here. I cannot ask him who's this.
Because if it is some kind of instructions or process manual, so then that manual you can copyright it. The way it is written in that manual. So that copyright will protect only that. But the actual process of doing those things, the patent will protect. But again, to get a patent over process, you need to, satisfy the nuns test.
No, here I would like to intervene, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah.
The question is like, I have received a drawing for manufacturing where I'm process. They are not given a process. Customer is not given a process. So I design the process. What is the first I have to do? What is the next? And for each and every operation, I make a process sheet. So that can be copyright. That's what their question, I feel.
Okay. So the process sheet, yeah, you can copyright. The way it is written. Copyright will only protect
what that
the
person question
instructions.
is, so I got a finished drawing for the one component or any product. So they are not given the process. That I have using my process sheet with my company logo. For that, I need to take copyright from the customer or anybody else. Like that, maybe is question. Maybe I don't know.
No. If you have received a drawing from a third party, so the customer has a copyright over that drawing. So the process, if you are using your own process, like writing your own process, so you have a copyright over it. The customer cannot interfere in it. So there's no issue. Like, you're not infringing on the process.
Okay, one more doubt, madam, regarding that paper cut. What the one more person asked. So you said before publication, or before somebody bringing to somebody's knowledge. So that paper cut already floating in the so many WhatsApp and all. So now that person is asking for the copyright. I don't know how it will save its design.
So for the so for the design, again, it should not be commercialized, because same novelty is required for a design application, because the design office also does a search to see if for the same product similar design exists or not. They do a similar search, and they cite, they give you examination report, and they cite like same design is already there in public domain. So even your own design will come in your way. So like a novelty is a main criteria for filing a design. But if it is already commercialized and still you want to give it a try, we can file design application. The government fees are 1,000 and 4,000 for small entity startups, and for large companies it is 4,000 per application. So you can give it a try. So it might happen like the design examiner is not able to get your drawings, which get your products with the same design in public domain, and he might not cite it. So there is a risk, but still we can give it a try. Like, there's no harm in filing an application.
There's a question, ma'am. Can we have one single copyright for multiple artworks?
Multiple artworks? No. So per work, you need to file different applications for each work. You can file multiple copyright applications.
Okay. Any more questions from the open house?
Sir, I have one question. Can I ask?
Please go ahead.
Madam, I'm selling some products in Amazon, and recently I got a call from one of the companies from Delhi saying that they have this patent for this particular product, and I'm not supposed to sell the products under their name, because we sell
Okay.
some products under their name also. And
Okay.
now they are saying you're not supposed to sell it. How can you do it without our permission? All those things they are asking. So is there any problem, or should we discontinue that product to be sold in our product line, or what is the procedure?
Yeah, so if it is a patented product, like patent is granted, so you're selling it in all the jurisdictions where you're selling, the patent is granted in those jurisdictions, they have rights over it. So they can sue you for infringement. That will be a patent infringement. So they can sue you. So since they have sent you a notice, you can
they
check
have not
whether
sent
it
me
is
any notice.
granted.
Just called me over phone and they are just telling not to do it. So I should ask them the patent certificate or something like that, or should we stop doing it? That's all.
You can check it online.
Good selling product. That's the reason.
Okay, so you can check check it online if it is in if the application is published, it is in filing stage. You can keep a watch on it. If it is granted, then there will be an issue. They can claim damages from you for this infringement. But if it is not granted, then
what
anyone
might
is
be
free
the
to do
amount
it.
of damages they may just?
So they can sue you. It will be it is usually a huge amount. Like they can say like what all losses or what is the amount of profit which you have earned in these over these years, and what were the losses which they had suffered. So over the this will be if a patent is granted after 5 years, so the losses or profits will be backdated. So it will be a huge amount. So you can
now I have
take
a
a license from them. And,
yeah, that's better.
Get a license from them. And
thank you.
Now I have one question here on this discussion. Hi, this is Trupti Joshi.
Okay.
Hi. So first of all, whoever is calling them to say that we already have a patent, shouldn't they disclose the patent number and everything to the person who just asked this question? I mean, shouldn't the person know what patent exactly are they trying to assert?
That is not legally required. If they're saying they have a patent, you might never know. Like they must be really having a granted patent or a filed application, and if it is there, they can sue you. Like you cannot say in your defense like they didn't share a patent application number. So it's always better you do your own search in public domain. If you can find that application, you keep a watch. If it is not published, if it will get published after 18 months time, you keep a watch on it, or you can directly connect with them and ask them for a license and all. So if you ask them for a license, there will be a licensing agreement. You do an agreement, both parties will do an agreement, so they will have to disclose the technology, the patent numbers and all everything in the agreement.
And another thing to consider here could also be that whether the product that they are selling really is encompassed. I mean, sometimes because the product that they are selling may not have one of the elements that is present in the patent claim, or may have. So that's something they would have to do before making this decision to stop selling the product altogether, right? I mean, they need to do some kind of infringement analysis.
So you can ask them for for the details of the patent, and then even you can do an claim mapping and check it. Or if they don't give you the details, then you don't have any option. Like you'll have to keep a watch, and then there's a risk.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions from the open house? Okay, I think there's no more questions, ma'am. Thank you a lot, ma'am, for an excellent classroom kind of session we had. I'm sure all my participants were really, really happy. Mr. Bojraj?
Yes.
Can you conclude, please?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Pallavi Joshi.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for your, it was an excellent and lot of insights about IP and patents.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Thanks for the opportunity.
And this is the Laghu Udyog Bharati. It is a micro and small industries pan-India organization. And I want to thank Mr. Nachiket also.
Yeah, actually, even I would like to thank him.
Yeah, that is. Thank you very much, and thank you. Nachiket also is in our forum now.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Nachiket.
We'll look forward to continue our this one with Laghu Udyog Bharati madam. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And
Thank
for the
you, yeah.
participants, tomorrow we have a session on top 10 financials to do for MSMEs post-COVID preparations. This will be taken by Sri Vivek Malia, Chartered Accountant. We'll see you same time. Goodbye.
Thank you.